this is going to be a warts and all production. This is my kitchen, and you've seen it in many of the films. It doesn't always look like this. I usually have got it lit a lot better. I use lights coming through the window and lights in the corner here and lights up the end here. One of the problems I often get are reflections in these windows here on the dresser, but not anymore. Well, at the weekend that would be a different case. I try to make my videos look really nice. I try my hardest to make them a bit filmic in the way that I film. This video, as you'll see, is going to be very different. This is very vloggy. I need to move that and the little shelf unit there and put it into the back room. Because at the weekend that's going. The butler sink that I've been given by Sean James Cameron is going to be positioned here. The washing machine, which is down there, is going here with a dresser, not a dresser, with a washing up board. What do you call it? A washing board, a washboard, a board that you put stuff on when you, whatever the name of the sodding thing is. That goes up, that draining board. That's it. And then the little dresser is going there. That is in, you can see how dark my house is normally. It's very dark unless I've got my lights when I light it for my normal videos. This is the dresser here. Let me show you. So that's the new dresser that's going in the kitchen. It doesn't have any windows in it, so I don't have that problem with the reflection when I'm using lights, which is nice, but it's much smaller. It has to be smaller, otherwise I won't get the draining board, the washing machine and the sink on that back wall. This room is the old dining room of the house, and it's full of junk. Look at it, full of junk. So my task today is to sort of shift this stuff round. It's only me here. I'm going to be doing this single-handedly, and that dresser is huge. So I may not manage to do much of it, but it's down there. The front room. It's going to be chucked full of stuff in the interim process. Here we go. Stuff is already being moved in. So this is a bit of a naff video, but I wanted to share with you the process and at least for myself keep for prosperity what I'm about to do. So I can't film all of it, but I'll try and film stages as we go, because as I say, it is just me. It's empty. Stage one, it's empty. Now this is going to be the hard bit. I've got to move the top bit off because they are separated from the bottom, and I've got to move it into the back room, as you know. I've got to make the space in the front room by moving out the other dresser, which has yet to have anything done with it. Move that top and that base. So the plan is to shunt them up round the corner, get them out of the way, and then drag the other into here. Not looking forward to this bit. I'll let you know how I get on. Oh, have I banged my head? Have I banged my head? I wish I'd filmed that. Ah. That was a comedy moment, just trying to lift this section back onto the base section in this very cramped room. If I come back towards the window, you can just see how cramped this room is. I do wish I'd managed to film that. Blimey, whew, I banged my head a couple of times trying to get the thing up. Doesn't help actually. Now I can't do this because of copyright reasons, but I've been on my phone and on a little amplifying thing, I've been playing Laurel and Hardy music, you know, the music from their films. Anyway, that's sort of given me inspiration. So the new unit is in, but it's not in the place it's going to be in. And also I have, in the past, I put this boarding up all across here, across the side, which initially I thought I would leave because it looks quite nice. It was originally a beach hut interior. I built a set in my front room for a project I was doing, and then I didn't know what to do with it, so I thought, I know, I'll put it up against the wall, which is where it has been. But I could paint it actually. I wonder if I've got enough of that cream to paint it. I could paint it cream, it might look nice, and then offset the white. And then put a board along the top. But it means I want to cut a window out here. And I don't know whether I'm going to cut the window out. He pauses, or just remove the whole thing altogether. So I've got to think about that. That is actually going to shunt along to there. The white shelf unit isn't going to be there, as I mentioned before. So I have actually managed now, blimey, time for a cup of tea. I think I've managed to switch everything round. The swine of it is, the forecast said it was going to rain, and the sun is shining and it's lovely out there. Could have been out doing a film about a walk or something in the fresh air. Never mind. So I've exposed this back wall, which Julia said, presumably you're going to move that, are you? I sent her some pictures on WhatsApp. And she said, presumably you're going to move that and scrape the wall and paint the wall, are you? And so you can expose the window, because there's actually a window behind here. I don't know how easy it's going to be able to show you that, but there is. You can't see it, but there is a window there. And I had originally thought, no, I like this sort of cladding idea. I'm going to put a batten across there to hide the rubbish. The walls aren't great. They've got this weird stipply stuff, and it's quite a lot of work. And so I thought, no, I quite like this kind of country wooden type finish here. So it's not actually finished very well. I appreciate that. So I thought, I've got a little bit of that cream left over from when I was painting in the van, which was left over from God knows what. So I started to paint that, and then I looked at the dresser and I thought, hang on a second, the dresser seems to be exactly the same sodding colour, so it will look silly against that. It needed like a contrasting colour. So I could repaint the dresser in a different colour, and I'm potentially thinking, well, what have I got that could colour it? I think I've got a tiny bit of terracotta with a bit of mixed with a bit of white, so it could be a pale, very pale terracotta-y colour, or I've got a little bit of blue, so it could be a bit of blue, rather than going and buying something and just shove it in there. I've got to see if I've got some white, so I could do that. So I've got to think. There's a lot of thinking going on at the moment. Meanwhile, whilst I'm thinking, I'm going to crack on and finish painting up this back wall and just get the other side done, and then I'll offer it up and see how it looks. It's probably the best, isn't it? It's some time later, and I've decided to paint the unit, the new dresser, whether it's a French dresser or a Welsh dresser. It was the same colour as the cream on this wall, which I've now finished. You may notice that it looks here like it's got a doorway It doesn't actually go anywhere. It isn't a real door. This bit was part of a set. Did I mention this before? May have done. Part of a set that was a beach hut in part of the rest of the house. But as I say, I quite like the overall finish, and I've made a pelmet to go on the top, which will be fixed in. But when I put the dresser against it, it just looked like it was the same colour and didn't look right. So I've painted it. I've mixed up some terracotta, which I had, and some white, and it's now a sort of peach, a nice cream peach. Hopefully that'll look all right. So I guess when I get my Belfast sink in, I could make some darker peach type curtains that might fit in there, or flowers and peach flowers or something, I don't know. We'll see. So now I've just got to wait for the paint to dry before I can move that in. I can drill some holes and get the pelmet up, and another task then is to decide what isn't going in the kitchen, because there's going to be an overspill, and what will go in the old dresser in here. And I want to be able to access this area very easily, so I can go in and just grab stuff that's not immediately needed in the kitchen but might be needed. So there's a little bit of extra thought process to do in there. I think it's about 3 o'clock now. It's been a longish day. Cracking on. Julia's popped round. I think it's too pink.
I think you might be right. It's very pale, but it is very pink. We thought it would be when you described it, I thought it would be a bit of a peachy colour, which would be nice and warm.
Yes, well, it's the paint that I used to make this, and I mixed it with white, and I thought it would be a more peachy brownie, but very light. But it's gone bright pink.
Have you tried mixing a little bit more of the terracotta?
No, I haven't.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, I might try it again, but not today, because it's going to rain.
Not today, Josephine.
No, it's very difficult to do it inside, so I've had to do it outside. I mean, if I'm honest, I'm not a fan of the actual unit now. There's part of me thinking maybe that would be better in the spare room and bring the other one back. But how much room have I got for the washing machine and the sofa?
Because wouldn't you have to cut away part of the top to get it into the kitchen on that side where you want it?
Yeah, that's the only thing. So none of it's
tricky.
It's very tricky. Hey ho.
But it does look like it's coming together a bit, you know, just the foundations as such.
Yes.
For the rest of the kitchen.
Yes.
To happen.
Yes.
Yes. Cheeky little cherub.
We asked Joe what he thought. What did you think, Joe? You like it?
It's very cute.
Is it cute? What have you got there? Some nice food. Is that your lunch? Late lunch. That's it. Are you just gobbing it in your mouth? Yeah.
It's a nice snack because he's been pretty good for the shopping trip.
Say again.
It's a nice little snack for him. I say nice, it's a quick little snack for him while he's been pretty good at the shop.
Good man. Well, we could have done with you doing all the painting, Joe, because what with you being Geronimo Joe, he would have done it in half the time. Whereas I'm slowing down and ready for a snooze, so I've got to try and put the kitchen back together again, and I might have another bash at it tomorrow.
We could just dunk it, well, maybe change his clothes.
Use him as the brush.
Dunk him in the thingy and just let him go.
That's true. He could do the whole house, couldn't he? The same colour.
You wanted your ceilings and floors the same colour, didn't you?
I think so. So, this has thrown all my plans into disarray, really. It's been very useful to actually put things in place and work out what the original plan is, and all the errors and mistakes that I've made. And I'm sure people have been going to be laughing at me for making all these errors, but then, you know, you're the lucky viewer, you can laugh at me, and I'm the one who's trying to sort it all out. But anyway, the colour there, the pink, is horrible. I will repaint that and get that better. But it was worth the experiment. It couldn't stay white or cream because it would just look silly. I think the position of that has to be in the middle. The plan was to have it down at the side, that way. That shelf wouldn't be there, but there's a lot of stuff there on there that I use that I don't know where I would then put. So I'm now thinking rejigging the whole thing, and for the moment, and I've had enough of it today, I think that should be in the centerpiece as you come in the kitchen. I think there should be a shelf unit next to it. I think down here would be where the washing machine is. I think the existing sink will be where the new Belfast sink is. I think I'll just have to have the sink here plumbed, different sink in, and then run a draining board all across here and a shelf up here, sort this wall out, paint it and put a shelf unit up there. That's what I think. It means I won't get the sofa that I wanted to make myself. I wanted to sit on a sofa here. The whole point of the exercise was that I could then sit in the cold on the wintry nights opposite the Essie in a nice comfortable chair. What I think I'm going to end up having to do is make some form of collapsible chair that I can sit in here in comfort on those cold winter nights. And so tomorrow's another day, and I'm going to have another go at it and see what I can do. Thanks for watching. I hope this hasn't been too tedious. It's been tedious for me, but it's been worthwhile doing, even if it's not yet right. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, become a patron, support what I do. Your support really helps. This has been a manic production.